Hello viewers, this is Apurva Singh. I hope you are staying safe and staying home. Today in this video, we are going to learn about David Roth. David Roth is an American author, poet, and a vocalist. He is also a radio personality, and today we are going to read about his famous poem, that is the 9 Gold Medals. 9 Gold Medals is one of those poems which are considered to be the most inspirational poems written by David Roth. In this poem, you will see that there is a competition, a international level competition being organized, but the competitors, they do not keep that competition alive, rather they keep up the sportsman's spirit alive. So the theme of the poem is of empathy and sportsmanship. Now, you must be a little amazed that how empathy can be the theme of this poem. Now, empathy means when you step into somebody else's feet and you try to understand that what that particular person is going through or what is his condition and situation, and you feel the pain of that particular person. In this poem also you will see that there were 9 competitors, and one of them they fall sick, and maybe there is some injury in their leg, or maybe all of a sudden there is some pain in that particular competitor's leg, and he falls on the track. Rather than continuing the race, the other members of the competition, they tend to help. They stop the race then and there, and they turn back and they give a helping hand to that competitor who falls on the track. And sportsmanship, the theme of sportsmanship comes up in this poem, because in the course of the preparation of any competition, what do? We tend to forget the feeling of compassion towards the other competitors. We become ruthless because our only goal is to win the medal or to win the prize, the ultimate goal. But here that is kept aside when the competitors, they turn back, they stop the race, and they help the one who falls on the running track. So coming to the title is absolutely suggestive and apt when we see that the competitors, they help their companion, the other competitor who was there in the competition, and in the end it turns out to be a walking competition rather than a running competition. And in the end, all these 9 competitors, they get the medals rather than one who was the winner. So there was no competition anymore. All the competitors, they kept humanity alive, and that is the reason why all of them were rewarded. And that is the reason why the title is absolutely apt, because all the 9 competitors, they get the medals individually for being so humane and for being so compassionate and for being so kind. There is no rhyme scheme, a set rhyme scheme which is being used in the poem, and there is no such figure of speeches also which come up in this poem. So it is absolutely simple, and it is very colloquial in the language also, and it is very simple in a small poem which is divided into 8 paragraphs, each containing 4 lines, and only the last paragraph is exception, wherein the poet has repeated the lines just to emphasize the message that this wasn't Special Olympics. The name Special Olympics was given just to signify this, that the game was organized for those who were differently abled people. But in the end, the kind of competition, the climax of the competition, it also makes it very symbolic that it was a special race because there was the victory of humanity. It is symbolic of the victory of humanity, and that is the reason why it is considered to be the Special Olympics, and which the poet himself emphasizes when he repeats the line in the last stanza. So now let us go through the lines. 9 Gold Medals by David Roth. So I am following the treasure trove collection of ICSE poems and short stories, and it is prescribed by the ICSE Council. Now, the athletes had come from so many countries to run for the gold, for silver and bronze, many weeks and months in trainings, all building come up to the games. So now here the poet is saying that the competitors, the ones who were competing in that race, they had come from several countries, and these people, they have come to win, they have come to run and to win the gold, the silver and the bronze medals, and they have been training and preparing themselves since weeks and months so that they can come and they can build up their perfection in their game, and they can win the gold or the silver or the bronze medals. All round the field, spectators were gathered, cheering on all the young women and men. Then the final event of the day was approaching, the last race about to begin. So now this was the last race of this Special Olympics, which was being organized for the differently abled people. And this was the last race which was now about to begin. And all the spectators, that means all the audiences, they were very excitedly waiting in the auditorium, in that area where the sports was to be held in that stadium, and they were cheering up the competitors also, like they were more excited than the competitors who were participating, than the contestants who were participating in that race. The loudspeakers called out the names of the runners, the 100 meters, the race to be run, and 9 young athletes stood there determined and poised for the sound of the gun. So now, as soon as the speaker announced that the competition is now about to begin, all the 9 contestants, they line up in a line so that when the gun is going to shot, they are going to start the race. So they were waiting for the final signal that they are going to start running on the track. The signal was given, the pistol exploded, and so did the runners on hearing the sound, but the youngest among them stumbled and staggered, and he fell on his knees to the ground. As I earlier told you people, that there was some problem, there was some ailment in his leg, and that is the reason why he could not move ahead like the others when they started to run at the final signal. So he stumbled and he staggered and he fell on the ground. He gave out a cry of frustration and anguish. So when he fell down, he shouted in frustration because his dreams were now shattered. His efforts could not give him fruits as he fell down on the ground, on the track. His dreams and his efforts have dashed in the dirt. So everything was now mixed up in the dirt. But as sure as I am standing here telling the story, now it's a strange one, but here's what occurred. So now here the poet is also saying that it was very strange and very surprising and very astonishing, but this happened, and the story which he is going to further narrate, that what he saw in that competition in that stadium while sitting in the stadium, now he is going to narrate that what special incident took place after one contestant, he fell down on the track. The 8 other athletes stopped in their tracks. So rather than moving ahead, they stopped in their tracks. The one who had trained for so long to compete, one by one they turned round and came back to help him and left the lad to his feet. So now the ones who were competing for months and for years and for weeks just to win the medal, they stopped. They did not run further, rather they turned back, they looked at that young athlete who was trying to get up, who was trying to, control his emotions, or who was shouting in anguish and pain, in frustration that he could not move forward. They stopped and they returned back and they looked at him and they sort of tried to help him rather than continuing their game. Then all 9 runners joined hands and continued the 100 meter reduced to a walk. Now all of them, they returned back, they gave him their helping hand, and this 100 meter race now turned to a walking race. And the banner above said Special Olympics could not have been nearer the mark. And the banner which was, in the banner in which it was written Special Olympics could not be justified than the action of these competitors, these contestants. So these contestants, the action, the act of these contestants, it really made that event, that competition to be a special one. That's how the race ended with 9 gold medals. They came to the finish line holding hands still. So they did not run any further, rather with the injured, with the person who was in pain, they took that athlete also along with them and they walked till the finishing line. They did not run, as because the young one was not capable, was unable to run any further. And the banner above and 9 smiling faces said, more than these words ever will, said more than these words ever will. And the poet says that the banner which was above them, and they were smiling, these smiling faces of the competitors who were standing below that banner, it was completely justified. The Special Olympics, the title, was completely justified, and no words will be able to define the kind of sportsmanship these players, these athletes, they had shown on that day. So viewers, even I would like to say that the call of the hour is that we do not need competitions and competitors in this world. Rather, we need support, we need humanity, we need mankind, we need collaboration and cooperation amongst ourselves. If we cooperate and collaborate with each other, we will be able to win any you can say the competition of the game, the competition in the game, or the competition of life. So thank you everyone. If you liked my video, please like, share and comment.